So hopefully this will make sense in a moment when we write it and you see. So I'm going to say file equals read dir this time, and we're applying the handle into that. So we're reading in the handle that we've already opened with open dir. Now let me explain what happens in this loop. Every time we go around this loop, file is going to equal the next file along. So in this case we have, let's just double check, we've got 3 files here. So for the first loop we'll equal first file.txt, then second file.txt, then third file.txt. Now it will only represent in a string format, so file is now a string format. It won't actually be a link to the file, so we need to do that ourselves. So let's go ahead and just test this out. We can say echo file and then a line break. So let's preview this in our browser and see what it looks like. Okay, so we have the first file.txt, second file.txt and third file.txt. However, you can also see that we've got this double dot here and this single dot here. This is just part of a normal directory structure, so it's along with the other files, we've also got this, which means current directory, and this means back a directory. So these are the options that we can do by saying go back a directory or forward a directory, but we don't want to include these because we just want to look inside the files, look inside this files directory and list our files. So let's go and see what we can do to sort this out. Now we need to create a condition inside of our loop, so we need to create an if statement here, and we'll end that there. Okay, remember your block. So we've created an if statement and we need to put a condition in here, and the condition is based upon something. If it's true, we're going to echo the file. So the condition could be if file doesn't equal a dot and file doesn't equal 2 dots. So if it doesn't equal a dot and doesn't equal 2 dots, then we can echo out a file. So therefore this dot and this 2 dots will be eliminated from our list, and this echo won't happen. Okay, they'll still exist, but this echo just won't happen. So let's go back and refresh and see what that's done. Okay, so that's got rid of the 1 and the 2 dots there. So we've achieved that just simply with an if statement here. Okay, so now what I want to do is create links to the files. And we can do this just by appending on an href equals, and then that's the start of the a tag, and then we end the a tag there, just like you'd do in an HTML document, a normal HTML document. Now the link is going to be the directory and then / the file. So inside here what we can do is just append on directory. So what I've done here, if you didn't already notice, I've ended the echo. So we've started the echo here, we've ended the echo here. We're using a dot to append on our directory, then we're using a dot to append on the rest of it. So we can just do, for short, like you just saw me do, two of these single quotation marks and then 2 dots, and then in here we can write our variable data. So it's directory, and then it's / and then 2 more dots, 2 more single quotation marks, and file. So now what we can see is when we refresh, you can see that these are links. Now if you look at the bottom of the video in the left hand corner, you can see localhost /series /file handling /files, and then first file.txt. If I move my mouse down to the second one, you can see that at the bottom of the video, in the bottom of the browser, it changes to second file, and the same with third file. So now what we can do is click on these and view the contents of the first file, view the contents of the second file, and view the contents of the third file, which you can see I've just written the first file, second file and third file. But obviously if these were images, you could change the ahref tag, and you can instead change it to image source, and you could point the source to the image that's located within the directory. And you could also talk about using functions that we've already seen in previous tutorials by myself, to only show JPEG files. So what we could do is we could either read in the file itself and check the type, or we could select everything after the last dot and say, is it a JPEG file? But for now, I'll leave you with this. This is a basic most standard structure of looping through a file and displaying all files that don't equal a dot and 2 dots.